Hello, everybody. The darkness. Oh, it's a little too much darkness. A little too much darkness. That's a little too much darkness. I know. You cannot see me. Let me put on some light. Let me put on some light. Let me put on some light. That's a little too much darkness. I wanna let go. Okay, it's not a lot of light. Let's see my brightness. All right. Okay, you see me or you don't see me. Okay, so basically we're going to get into story. And as you've read, this story is about someone who wants something badly, who is having... that's always a pain in the ass, the light in a way. All right. Once again, for those who didn't just read this, the story is about someone who wants something badly, who is having trouble getting it, and they get it or they don't. So our movie to show this is what else? Right here. Gladiator. Right here. Gladiator. So, our main character and our villain, this is Maximus Decimus Meridius. Maximus Decimus Meridius. And this is Commodus, the Emperor of Rome. So our main character is who wants something badly, Maximus. So what does he want? So he wants something bad and can get it. So the story Gain to God, it's a GTG. Every story that you ever do, every character has a GTG. And once they get from G to G, Gain to G, because they gain to God, once they start with something they want to gain, and then they end with something they got. So, Gladiator. You might think that Gladiator is as simple as he's a slave, so he wants to gain his freedom, and that's it, but that's not it. The story is Maximus. The story is an army general of Rome. Maximus is turned slave. He seeks revenge on Emperor Commodus, having conflict, and at the end, he kills him. So his gain is that he wants revenge and kill Emperor Commodus. At the end, he's got to kill him, and he does, because they get in a fight, and he has to kill him, and he does, and he cheats. Commodus cheats and stabs him in the back and conceals his weapon, his shield, his breastplate, his armor breastplate. So remember, simple movie. Best picture, best actor, best everything. How many Academy Awards did it win? So many Academy Awards. Right here. Gladiator. You got your title, Gladiator. You got your main character, Maximus Max. He's a maximum man. He's powerful. Maximus Decimus Meridius. Your gain to God. The story is so everything that you do. So let's try this again. Gain to God. This story is, what is he? Describe him. What does he do? Who is Maximus? He's an army general of Rome. That's how we start this movie with him. So in every movie, we do it the same thing. We copy Gladiator. If you do not have Gladiator, yes, you can do Seven and Fight Club and all these other different things and change the story around a little bit like Pulp Fiction, but it's always a GTG. It's always they're gaining it and then they got it. And if they don't get it at the end, if at the end Maximus dies, which he lost, he died, but everybody got free because of him. They freed the slaves because of his death, and everybody didn't care about Commodus dying, and they loved Maximus, and they lost him, and his freedom. He got to kill Commodus. He got to free all the slaves and end the gladiator games. That's all that happened, unbeknownst to him when he died. So here we go. We start with the story is, let's look at it. An army general of Rome. So that's already, look, when you're doing a movie, and I got this from, I think, Big Red Stripe. I think I was a Big Red Stripe or Red Stripe. He was a really smart guy. I'm getting this from him. It's true. Characters in movies, every movie, whose story is it about? So Gladiator. Got it right here on the poster, right here on the DVD. Gladiator tells you what he is, a gladiator. Who is the story about? Maximus. It's not about Commodus. It's not about Lucian. It's not about the mom of Lucian. It's not about the gladiators next to him. It's not about Marcus Aurelius. It's about Maximus. Right here, Maximus. It's about Maximus. This is the character we follow, and this is power. This is power. Story is king. Story is power. The power of this movie changed me that I walked to theaters back in the year 2000, May 2000, and I saw this movie in theaters, and I knew it was Best Picture. I knew it was one of the greatest movies I had ever seen in theater alone, and I loved it. So here we go, Gladiator. Gladiator 2 tries to copy Maximus' story, doesn't really work as much. Gladiator 1 is the best. So the story is about someone, Maximus, who wants something badly, revenge on Commodus. He's having... I'm just going to wait because the computer froze. My computer froze. Oh. My computer froze. My computer froze. Well, I don't know what's going on. Now my computer is freezing, so I'm going to have to go really slowly. So here we go. The story about someone, Maximus Decimus Meridius. That's our main someone. That's our main character. That's who the story is about. He's what? An emperor. He's not an emperor. He's going to be emperor, which is why they killed his family. They tried to kill him and his family because he was going to be chosen to be emperor of Rome. But he was an army general of Rome, winning battles and gaining the love of Marcus Aurelius, the main emperor of Rome and the father of Commodus. Ooh, all that story told to you in the first couple of minutes. He wants something badly. He wants to win fights and get the crowds on his side and entertain them, but he also doesn't care about them. He doesn't care about his life. He just wants to get revenge. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance. Great scene. He's having trouble getting it. He's just a gladiator, and now he's stuck trying to kill the most powerful man in Rome, the emperor, who can kill him at a second. He can just put his thumb down and thumb up and kill him, but he can't kill him because the crowd is the power. Everybody loves Maximus, and he's entertaining as a gladiator. So he decides to fight him as a gladiator, cheating, and he loses and dies. But Maximus dies too. So there we go. But here we go. So when we're doing a story, let's say we have a story called Star Wars. Well, we need our army general of Rome, Luke. So we think a farmer on Tatooine, a rebel pilot, a former rebel pilot. He's a former rebel. He's not a rebel yet. He's never really been a rebel. A farmer who wants to be a rebel, Luke, is turned orphan. So he seeks to help Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Rebel Alliance with the Death Star plans for R2-D2. He must, of course, at the end, attack the Death Star. He joins the rebels because the stormtroopers killed his family. He has nothing to live for. He's thinking he's always wanted to be a rebel. Finally, at the end, the rebels have to attack the Death Star, which blows up planets. So he's important. This is a very important thing. Killing the Darth Vader and everybody is, the most important thing. Fight on the Battle of Yavin, or the Battle of the Death Star run, and he does it and he wins. But we're on Gladiator. Gladiator. It's a DVD which I can hold. It's a file. It's on Max, HBO Max, I think. So here we go. We get the gain to God, GTG. Every character you have in a movie, when we see them, they have a GTG, something they're trying to gain. And then finally, when they got it, what is it? So the villain could be trying to gain something. What was he trying to gain? He was trying to gain power, and he was trying to become the Emperor of Rome. So he did that by killing Maximus and his family. So he's gained it. But what he doesn't got is the love. He doesn't have love anymore. He doesn't have the love. He doesn't have the crowd of Rome. He's not popular. He's trying to get popularity. He's trying to be famous. He's trying to be loved. He's trying to be chosen as the hero. And he's not. Everybody loves Maximus because Maximus is there as a slave defying Rome, and he was also an army general who helped win the battles. And Commodus is not winning battles. He's not doing anything. So he's trying to get something. He's trying to get, for him, he could just, killing Maximus is just killing him. But it's not enough. He needs to take his popularity. He's the Superman, and he doesn't want to be Lex Luthor. He wants to be the Superman. He wants to win that crowd and win the love. And there we go. And there we go. So as we go from gain to God, the story is an army general of Rome. Maximus is turned slave. So right there, let's take a character. Let's take a character from what's a character? Doctor Doom. So if we were to set a story about Doctor Doom, we say an army general of Rome. So we have to describe who is this person? When you describe him, what is he? You can't just say Maximus is a gladiator. You can say it, a gladiator. Maximus, a gladiator, seeks revenge on Emperor Commodus. Okay, that's fine. But he didn't start the movie as a gladiator. He started the movie as an army general of Rome. That's what makes it even more interesting. That's the twist. That's our first turning point. He's an army general of Rome. He's on the battlefield. He wins the battle. Then he wants to win it so that he can go home to his wife and kids. But a turning point, Marcus Aurelius says, no, you're not going home to your wife and kids. I need you. You're going to be the Emperor of Rome. Wow. Suddenly Commodus finds out, kills his father secretly, and sends people to kill, unbeknownst to Maximus, try to kill Maximus, and he gets away, and then he goes and he tries to save his wife and kid, and they're dead. So then he is turned slave. He doesn't just run around going, hey, I'm out here, I'm trying to kill him. He becomes a slave, and he becomes a gladiator. So you think, well, how is a gladiator? That's the whole point of the story. That's our why. That's our what's going to happen. That's our meat. How does a gladiator, a man who was not a gladiator, he wasn't just someone who was born as a gladiator, he's a person who was an army general of Rome. How is this person going to do anything to get revenge on Commodus when doesn't have freedom? He doesn't have his freedom. He doesn't want to fight, and fights. They could kill him at any time. His life is worthless, is meaningless. It's only means something when he fights and entertains the crowd like a wrestler or a baseball player. He's like a baseball player, doesn't give a damn about baseball and want to play baseball and hit home runs, but he hits those home runs. He kills people. Are you not entertained? So people are loving this guy. They love the Spaniard. They love Maximus because he's real. He's a real balls to wall guy. He's real. They know that this is fucked up and that this guy's awesome. And he was an army general. Remember, these people are only alive because he's like a guy at the Pentagon, or he's like the president. He's an Obama. He's a guy that was there saving our lives the ones that we do not meet, as they say in IMF. He was saving us, and he was an Army General of Rome, and now there's no more army to be commanded by this guy. So we're all in trouble. He was the one leading the victories. They would have lost, and we would have lost, and there'd be famine and poverty, and the only thing these people want is entertainment. So our theme is, do we just live off entertainment? Television, Hunger Games, death? As a crowd, our theme is telling us, even though this is set in the time of Rome and gladiator games, it asks us, is this what crowds want? Do they just want to watch American Idol? Do they just want to watch football? Do they just want to watch the Super Bowl? Do they just want to be entertained while these wars are going on? And we can feel that today. Today, what's the one thing that everybody's watching? The playoffs, the NBA playoffs. While there's wars going on, people are dying, and we're ignoring it, and we're trying to be entertained. We're trying to go to movies to see Lilo and Stitch. So this is the same thing. The difference is we just don't take people's lives and put them as gladiators, but we do love gladiators. We do love people who entertain us, who sacrifice and have conflict and give us something. So here we are with a story that's relevant 25 years later. Gladiator 2 does not have this story. It just has a kid that met Maximus, and it's his father, and you don't really get Gladiator 2. It's a good movie. It has Denzel, it has stuff in it, but it's not Gladiator 1. An army general of Rome, Maximus, is turned slave. He seeks, and then this is what he wants. So he's turned slave. So you think, well, of course he wants his freedom, but why does he want his freedom? What does he want to do? He doesn't have a wife and kid. He doesn't have a reason to live. So what does he really want? He wants revenge on Emperor Commodus. And Emperor Commodus is at the gladiator games. If he could fight enough to be one of the best gladiators, he could make it to Rome and fight in the gladiator, fight there and get close enough to kill Commodus. But how's he going to do it? He's surrounded. It's like trying to kill the president. It's one of those things, and we all can feel that. Right now, we could feel that maybe, just maybe, there are people who have lost people, and maybe they're not an army general of Rome. That's the problem. The story is only great because he is great. Maximus is great. He's an army general of Rome. Maximus. His name is amazing. What he does being an army general, that means that he's been given success, that he's fought with men, died with men. He's already fighting for Rome. He's already protecting Rome. All of this, an army general of Rome tells you what it is. Rome, army general, tells you the time, Maximus, and then what happens to him. Okay, they kill his wife and kid. Yeah, okay, so they do that, but that's not the story. He's turned a slave. The story goes on. He's turned slave. Why was he turned slave? How did that happen? Because they killed his wife and kid and tried to kill him, and now he has to hide, and he ends up being a gladiator. He seeks revenge on Emperor Commodus. He's the emperor. He's not just Commodus. He's not just a guy who just killed his family. That was, some soldier, some random guy who's just random Commodus that he could just find him and kill him. And it's the Revenant. It's the emperor. He's the most powerful man in Rome. Everyone tries to kill him. Everyone wants him dead. You can't do it. He's power. You'll get him killed. And he does it. He fights him in a gladiator event. He gets to that event. He fights him. Commodus cheats. He kills him. And we get to that sense of, you can't just kill the emperor. You die as well trying to kill the most powerful man in Rome. And he's not a villain. He's good. He dies, but he is seen as the hero. He dies a hero, not a villain. So there we go. And we got from gain to got. The story is always, it could be an alien, it could be, but it's usually male or female. If whatever your creature is going to be, someone's going to do the voice of it. So if it's Gollum, Gollum is a male. If it's Galadriel and she's an elf, she's a woman. You're always looking at two things. It could be a tree, it could be a box, it could be a clock. But whatever is doing it, you ask, is it a male clock or female? Don't gender, fine. You don't have to gender it. It'd be a webcam. But it's a story of an object or of male or female gaining it. They want to gain something, having conflict, gaining and having conflict. And at the end, he or she got it or not. So that's it. So that's story. So we're done. I'm gonna go back up to Gladiator. We're done. Look at his face. That's the face of a guy who's like, he's shocked that he's alive. He's pissed that he wants to kill him. That's Gladiator. In a nutshell, this is Gladiator. The best picture. Part one is still the best. I'm glad they made Gladiator 2. It was fun to watch, but the one you gotta watch is Gladiator. That's the movie that gets your adrenaline running. So if you want to make a movie, it's as simple as you get your main character, Maximus Decimus Meridius. Now you may have Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You may have The Lord of the Rings. But remember, Lord of the Rings is about Frodo Baggins, and there's Aragorn, there's Theoden, there's all these other characters, but the main character is Frodo Baggins. Gladiator, our main character, we see him right here. Look at that guy. You want to mess with that guy? He's like, yeah, bring it on. Come on, bring it on, guys. Just bring it, guys. He's a fighter. He's a soldier. He was a soldier. He was an emperor. He was all these things. Well, he never was emperor, but he could have been. He technically was for a little bit. But he's been damned, and he's coming back. And you can't kill him. You got to kill him to kill him, and you can't just kill him. The guy's gonna get you. So there we go. The story is about someone, Maximus, who wants something badly, kill Commodus, and he's having trouble doing it because he's a gladiator, he's a slave, and he's an emperor, and they get it or they don't. They got it, he killed him, but he died at the end, so okay. So that's it. I'm talking a lot. So the question is, this is what you got to do with your stories. Just do this. Put the story is a describe what the person is. Army General of Rome. Now that tells us, if I said nothing, if I said gladiator, that would tell you that it's gladiator. If I told you Army General of Rome, you go, I'm not saying black president of the United States. The first black president of the United States. That's Barack Obama. You can't have the first black president of the United States. In what time? What time is that? 2008. We timed it. First black. Now, when you say black president of the United States, you're still timing it. That's still, it could be, you could change your story and say black president of the United States with George Washington time, or with, you time it, but you black president of the United States, first black president, Barack Obama. If you're going to go before and say there was one before him, there's that story. If there's one after him, fine. But black president, first black president, okay, Barack Obama. Obama, Maximus. Then what? What's the conflict? See, that's the story of making an Obama movie. Once he's president, what is he's not turned slave. We're not going to do that to make the president a slave. But we go, okay, what happened to him? Must bail out, becomes mediator. Because what's the conflict in Obama's administration? What gun violence, this, that. Well, what's the thing? He did, Maximus was turned a slave in a time where there are slaves. So there we go. We said once again, he's an army general of Rome. His name is Maximus, so his name's different. You don't have a name like Maximus out there. It's not Max, it's Maximus. Army general of Rome, army general. We have army general. He's turned to slave. We don't have slavery anymore. There we go. He seeks revenge on the biggest person emperor, the emperor Commodus. There we go. So there we go. Power, character. This is a great thing. Gain to God. What's he trying to gain? The revenge, so he can set himself free from not saving his family, the guilt. He wants revenge. This person's a piece of shit. Vengeance, revenge. He wants to kill him. Batman can't have revenge. We always say Batman vengeance. Batman has never gotten revenge or vengeance on the people who killed his family. And remember, it wasn't someone big. It wasn't the Joker. It wasn't the president. It wasn't when Batman got involved. He was a child, and it was just random crime. It was a random crime. So he fights random crimes. He's a detective figuring out who killed who. He has to figure out who killed his parents. He figures out who kills your parents or what goes on. Perfect. So when the story is about a vigilante, a billionaire turned vigilante, Bruce Wayne, who is Batman, he seeks to stop the Joker, a homicidal anarchist clown, And that's the conflict. So that's the Dark Knight. When you have as simple as that, Gladiator, you're holding it in your hand. There's only one Gladiator. There's only one movie called Gladiator. There's only one great movie. In this is the greatness of greatness. Great movie, greatness of greatness, story. Story is king. The acting is good. Ridley Scott's probably best movie ever. I mean, yes, we love Blade Runner and Alien, but Gladiator is pretty much one of the greatest films ever made. So that's what you got to realize. Story, and I'm taking from Big Red Stripe. The story is about someone who wants something badly, who's having trouble getting it, and they get it or don't. So the problem we have today with storytelling, whether we watch Thunderbolts or whether we watch Iron Man or whether we watch Infinity War or whether we watch Long Legs, someone, Maximus, who is this Maximus? You can't just say Maximus. Hey, Maximus wants to kill Commodus. Uh, okay, why? Who is Maximus? Who is Commodus? Why do they want to kill each other? When is this taking place? There we go. An army general of Rome. So you have to describe that army general of Rome. You're saying the army general part of Rome. So you could. So you're saying Luke Skywalker of Tatooine, a Jedi Knight of Tatooine, is no, he's turned Jedi Knight. That's what he's going to be turned into a Jedi. So a farmer of Tatooine, Luke Skywalker, is turned Jedi or hero when he seeks to save a princess on the Death Star from Darth Vader with the plans. So there we go. So that's it. Make your stories accordingly. All about Gladiator. The end.